Hey YouTube, it's your boy Chris with another printmaking tutorial video. Today we'll be doing a project I really like to do. We're going to be screen printing a simple but beautiful landscape. And like all my vids, don't forget the 3 P's: preparation, practice, and unfortunately, patience. So let's jump in. For this project, you'll need some paper, tracing paper, a screen, some Mac tack, a squeegee, a pencil and an X-Acto knife, some tape, the primary colors of ink, as well as black. Let's make a background for our landscape. What I've done here is cut out a rectangle in the size I want my background to be on the paper. I'll be using this as a guide to know where to stick the tape when I make my tape rectangle stencil. This will make it so the ink doesn't go through these parts. So let's tape up all the parts where the white paper is not.
Delicious!
All done, let's print. I've prepared some registration guides made of tape to help put the paper and screen down in the same place every time. A tape line for the paper and an outline for the screen. This will be super important when we print the second color. If you have them, C-clamps are a huge help for not only printing alone, but also to help with registration, as it automatically keeps your screen in the same place when you print. Let's get inky. I'll be doing my best to print a sunset or sunrise depending on how early you get up. And we do this by printing what's called in the biz a split fountain. Some call it a fade, or as the French call it, une ombre. Starting in the middle where the land meets the sky, we'll add a nice dollop of yellow. Now as the sun glints over the horizon, we'll add our next color, red. You can also see that I don't put the colors side by side, but rather overlap them slightly. And the more you overlap the colors, the wider the area your mid-color will be between them. So if you want a subtle and gradual fade, overlap more. And if you want a sharper transition, overlap less. So get the blue on there, and let's do a little premix. Using the squeegee, I can mix the colors back and forth and slightly left and right, and you can already see the colors mixing. It's when we print though, the colors have more opportunity and space to mix. So it may take a few prints to get to the place you're happy with. I also always print in the same direction and try to be precise, because the most important thing with split fountains is to preserve the fade and not get other colors into it. This also goes much smoother if you have a friend to hold the screen down. A large printing area like this takes a good amount of ink, so you may need to load up on more, and you do that by simply adding it only where it was before. However, this can be a good opportunity to experiment and try to change the colors little by little. See what I did with the red? Even not mixing the color in beforehand can have interesting results. It's a tough thing to control, but it sure is a lot of fun to try and make some cool patterns or combinations. We're making a landscape, but who's to say that it even has to be a real place, right? You'll know you need more ink when your prints have blotches of area that seem empty like these. Okay, our backgrounds are looking amazing. Now let's get something going on in there. We can see the background, but we are also able to draw on top of it. Using one of our now dried prints, we are taping on the tracing paper. These parts will be printed black. So let's use our imaginations and see what we can come up with here. I always like to start with the horizon line. For me, I see a lake here. So our horizon is the shoreline on the other side. So now let's get some hills in there, and as it gets closer to us, the details of the tops of the trees start to come out. Looks like a nice place to go. So why don't we go there? We'll draw our silhouette right here, in the middle, right at the bottom edge of the shore. What's going on? What can we see when we're down at the old lake? Maybe it's springtime and the geese are heading back north, but maybe, just maybe, they made some friends down south. Some friends who are a little out of this world. So we'll put a couple flying saucers down there. Now with the basic idea down, it's time to endlessly erase things and tweak it to the point past where I should have stopped. I think we can all relate, but just have fun with it. It's a good life skill to be able to draw something you can laugh at. So I think it's ready? Let's transfer our drawing and make our stencil. I've taped my transfer paper drawing onto the window, and now I'm taping a piece of Mac tack on top. Get my writing utensil out, let's trace. Okay, let's cut this stencil. So an important point, using a knife safely not only makes things safer, it'll also make it easier to cut out. We don't put our hand in the way of where we cut and hold it like a pencil with the blade side down. With a little pressure, just drag the blade towards you at a low angle. We want to cut through the paper and plastic part of the Mac tack, removing the pieces as we go. Let's get this onto a screen. Nice. Start by peeling the paper off the sticky plastic part. This also goes much easier with a friend to help. So sticky side up, and as you peel, if the paper rips, that's okay. It's the plastic we need. So carefully peel it off and lay it down sticky side up on the background print, which is also in the tape guides you made earlier. Line it up exactly where you want it, making sure you flatten it as best you can. Now take your screen and line it up with your screen guide marks, and ease it down onto the sticker, laying it flat. Rub it a bit to clear out any bubbles. Turn it over and do the same until it's flat. If it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world, but do your best. But a nice advantage of MacTac is you can peel it off and try again if you need to. Now we'll tape it up real quick, making sure it overlaps the stencil on all 4 sides without going over where we cut out our artwork. Stencil, check. Paper, check. Screen, check. Black ink, check. Throw down some ink. And wow! What do you think? I like it. Okay, let's rip through the rest of them. Juicy. Look at that. We did it. All done. Now we just have to go wash up. But before I go, I just wanted to thank you all for hanging out. I think it turned out really well. So please like the video to let me know if you felt the same way, and subscribe to this channel if you want to make some art with me or some of my other artist friends in the future. Bye-bye!